So this difference you should know. Inland means the rivers flowing within the country are helping to carry passengers and goods within the country from one place to the other. Overseas means from our country to another country. This is for international trade purposes. Clear? Now, for this reason, you need to know the importance of navigable rivers. All the rivers cannot be considered or classified as navigable. What are the conditions needed for a river to be navigable? Clear? Please note, the river should be a perennial river. Conditions for a river to be navigable means to be used by steamers. We use a bigger ship over the oceans and seas. We use big boats and steamers on navigable rivers. River should be perennial, meaning having water throughout the year. Then it should be deep and it should have a large volume of water. All the points I have put into the first point. Large volume of water. So that enough space is there for the vessels to sail or move. And in the second point, only 2 points I'll be giving you because 3 things I put it into the first point. In the second point, for navigable rivers, it should flow through plain land. Plain means plain or level land. This is very important. India is a land of rivers, right? Northern region also we have lots of rivers. But inland waterways is very limited because all the rivers are not navigable. Clear? In South India again we have lot of rivers, but in South India we do not have perennial rivers. And they are not flowing through level land, they are flowing through a plateau region. So in many places there are small waterfalls. Now water falling from a height like that is very harmful for a boat or a steamer. So they cannot use it for navigation. Clear? So please remember, these conditions are fulfilled only in the northern plains, not in South India. So what are we noticing? Roadways, railways, even waterways, inland waterways, maximum where are we finding it? In northern plains. Okay, so please remember this for waterways. Now, why the waterways are the cheapest? This note down because you get some reasoning questions on them. Why they are the cheapest? The first reason is, just the heading you can take down, why cheapest? First reason is they are fuel efficient, meaning less fuel is used by boats and ships, whether in the river or over the seas and oceans. Why? In the water body we have current, okay, and the water has its own force. So if the ships and boats are moving according to the flow of the water, less amount of fuel will be used. We are not using the motors. They shut down the motors, and by the movement of the water the vessel is moving forward. Clear? Less fuel efficient means less fuel is being used, but we call it fuel efficient. That is why it is cheap. Okay, we are not putting in too much of diesel or petrol or whatever type of fuel we are using. Second reason is less construction work is required in case of waterways. Roads we have to carry on building. Railways we have to carry on building. Every rail train needs stations at different places. In a station there has to be a platform, there has to be over bridges. Such a lot of construction is needed. In case of waterways, very less construction, only at the coast, certain points of the river, that's all. Clear? So construction is also less, that is why less cost is there. Clear? Because it is fuel efficient, the fare which is charged by the people, that is also less. Clear? So these are the two reasons why this waterways is the cheapest compared to any other means of transportation. Now we come to the advantages and disadvantages. Advantage you already got. This very few points are there, you can note it in a line. Advantages and disadvantages. First biggest advantage is the cheapest. That is the biggest advantage of waterways. That's easy to remember. Clear? Second advantage, again, same like railways, heavy plus bulky cargo can be carried long distances. Easily you can write. Short points I'm giving you. Then third is they are eco-friendly. They cause very less pollution. You can note down the meaning. They cause less pollution. Then what I just discussed, they are fuel efficient. Less fuel consumption is there. And the last point, the fifth point I'm writing here, reduces the pressure on roads plus railways. So that's a very big advantage. Clear? These are your advantages for waterways. 5 points, and I don't think very difficult to remember. Disadvantages. The biggest disadvantage is it is limited to areas having water bodies. If a country doesn't have rivers, if a country is totally surrounded by land, there will be no waterways. Clear? So that is a very big disadvantage. Second, this is your first point. Second, it is dependent on weather conditions. On weather conditions. Bad weather, stormy weather is very harmful, is very risky. Third and fourth point, also note it down. I'm writing it on top. The third disadvantage is it is very time consuming, meaning slow. It takes lots of time to move from one place to another over the water bodies. And the last point, everybody is not adjusted to traveling by waterways. It causes seasickness. One word you can write it. It causes seasickness. And many people suffer from this. That is why a big percentage of the population does not want to utilize waterways. Clear? So this is basically in very, very short, the most important things under waterways. One more thing you need to remember, which you will have to spend time to learn it directly from the book. You will have to learn the names of certain waterways. Clear? Like under roadways, I told you, expressways are very important. They are very modern roads. So the one which has been just newly constructed, the longest one, such names under expressways you are learning. Under waterways you are learning at least National Waterway number 1. This is how they are written. National Waterway number 1. NW is National Waterway. We have national highways in roads. So in waterways we have National Waterway. This is which river is involved, you should know. River Ganga, along with its tributary Bhagirathi plus Hooghly. Just 3 parts I am mentioning. Clear? Learn the name. This is number 1, name of the river, and a few cities which are being linked up. Now everybody can remember Kolkata, everybody can remember Patna, Varanasi. These are important cities being linked up by this waterways. Clear? So Ganga, in other words, is a navigable river. Second waterway is number 2, National Waterway number 2. This is on river Brahmaputra. And for Brahmaputra, there are some names which will be new to you. The ones you can remember, please learn them. Tejpur is easy to remember. It links up Tejpur. It links up Dibrugarh. Few names, more names if you can learn, please do so. Third waterway, national waterway. This is not on a river. This is on canals. You know what are canals? Canals link up. They divert water from the river to the fields. Clear? So on some of the canals are very big. Steamers can move on this also. Clear? So these are canals in the state of Kerala. The two places which are being linked up, write down Kollam, Kollam, and Kottayam. No, Kottapuram. So the first three are very important. There are few more names. You will take it from the book and learn it in this format. Okay, so that concludes your waterways. Last is your airways. Again, the portion is very less in airways. Directly for airways, we will go into the advantages and disadvantages. Advantages and disadvantages. Biggest advantage of airways is it is the fastest or time saving, same point it is, okay, time saving method of transportation. That is the biggest advantage. Clear? Second advantage is there are no barriers. It can cross over oceans, seas, mountains, forests, anything. Nothing can stop it. We can go over it. Clear? So there are no barriers. Then carries or transports over very large distances, and very large meaning from one continent to another. Very large distances it carries us through. And the last point, during disasters or calamities, it provides help for rescue work. So all the points are easy for airways. None of them are difficult to understand. We come to the disadvantages. The biggest disadvantage is it is very costly. Therefore, in the same point you will mention very small percentage of the population uses it. Half